What if I told you that you could save thousands of dollars per month in Google Ads because you're simply spending too much for your actual goals? Well, there's too many advertisers that have no clue why they're budgeting what they actually are in Google Ads. They're just picking a number, running with it, and then that becomes their Google Ads budget for this month, next month, and the next year. And so what I want to do today is go over 3 common Google Ads budgeting methods. And make sure to stick around for number 3 because of the 3 that we're about to review, it's definitely my favorite. My name's Scott Redgate. I'm a digital marketing coach. I help small businesses learn to manage their own marketing campaigns without hiring an expensive agency to do it for them. If you want to save some money in Google Ads, make sure to grab my free PPC cost cutting cheat sheet. You can get it at scottredgate.com/cheat sheet, and I'll leave a link in the description below. Okay, so let's see what these 3 budgeting methods are. So there's a lot of advertisers that have no clue what their Google Ads budget should be. It's a question that I received recently in a digital marketing coaching session. What should my Google Ads budget be? And so today I want to give you a few methods that you could consider as you're deciding what your monthly budget should be. This one I call the test budget or the minimum viable budgeting method. And so what you do in this method is you simply allocate the minimal spend that you need to gather your performance data. And so unfortunately, a lot of advertisers will use this method at the start, but then they'll just continue on with it and not update it once they have enough information to make better decisions. And so here's how it works. You simply decide on a number that you're comfortable with. So you set a small daily budget. So let's say, for example, it's $10 to $50 per day. And then you run it for a defined period. So let's say that's 2 to 4 weeks. And in this method, what you're focusing on is collecting data. So you want to get a feel for the type of cost per click that you're paying, see if you're able to get any conversions for the low daily budget. And once you do, you can pivot to another budgeting method. And my preference would be the 3rd one that we're about to go over. Now, this method is best for new campaigns or businesses that haven't run Google Ads in the past. Maybe you have extremely limited capital and you just want to get a feel for the type of cost per click that you can pay in Google Ads. You want to know if you're going to pay 50 cents for a click or $5 for a click. You have no idea, and so you just want to get the ball rolling. This is also good for those businesses that just want to validate offers or test new markets. Don't expect major results. In a lot of instances, this is just going to be way too small to see any type of meaningful result from your advertising efforts. So let's say, for example, you have a daily budget of $25. You decide to run it for 30 days. And so your total test budget is $750. And your goal is to accumulate 100 to 200 clicks, analyze performance, and then pivot to a different budgeting method. And again, my preference is going to be the 3rd one that we review. Okay, so the next method that I'm going to review is extremely simple, but it's better than option number 1. Again, it's not my favorite, but it's better than what we just reviewed. And this is the percent of revenue or profit method. And so with this, you're simply allocating a consistent portion of your income, the money that you make, to Google Ads. So here's how it works. You determine a fixed percentage, and this is where your comfort level comes into play. Maybe it's 5%, 10%, 15% of your gross revenue or profit, and then that becomes your Google Ad spend. One of the positives of this is your budget scales dynamically. So it increases in those months that you have higher revenue, and it decreases when you have lower revenue. But the downside of this is it's not really performance focused. I mean, let's say your business revenue is just going up naturally and you have a really bad Google Ads account. Well, instead of making informed decisions, there might be a period where you increase your spend just because your business is doing well and it had nothing to do with your advertising efforts. So this method is better for businesses that have predictable revenue and they're looking for some type of long-term sustainable growth strategy and they want to maintain healthy profit margins. And so here's how you do it. First, you need to define your target percentage. So what percentage of revenue are you willing to invest? Next, you use recent historical data and estimate your upcoming monthly or quarterly income. And then you simply take that projected revenue and you multiply that by your target percentage. So for example, let's say your business makes $50,000 and you're willing to allocate 10% of your monthly revenue to Google Ads. Well, your monthly budget would be $5,000. Better than option 1, but this isn't great because it's not based on the metrics and the performance of your advertising account. This 3rd and final option that we're going to review is my favorite of the ones that we're discussing. And this is working backwards from your desired conversions and sales. So here's what I mean. You simply start with your desired outcome and then you work backwards to that spend number. Define the specific number of leads or sales that you want to achieve, and then you use your expected conversion rate or CVR and your cost per click to find the required spend. Now, this is best for businesses with clear and measurable conversion goals, businesses that want to make data-driven decisions, and also businesses that want a direct link between ad spend and specific business results. So number one, you set your conversion goal. You decide how many leads or sales do you need. Next up, you identify your conversion rate, which is your conversions divided by the number of clicks that you have. Now, if you're just getting started in Google Ads, you probably don't know this. And so you can do some Google searching on what a typical conversion rate is in your industry, or you can run your Google Ads account for a little while to get a feel for the type of conversion rate that you see. Next up, you identify your average cost per click. Now, it's best to use your actual Google Ads data, or if you don't have that information yet, you can use the Google Ads Keyword Planner to get a ballpark number. Then you calculate the number of clicks that you need. So you take your target number of conversions and then you divide that by your conversion rate. And lastly, you calculate your total budget. So clicks needed multiplied by your average cost per click. So here's an example. Let's say your goal is to get 50 sales per month. Your conversion rate is 2.5%. Your cost per click is $2.50. The required number of clicks that you have is 50 divided by that 2.5%, which would equal 2,000 clicks. Now, since you know your cost per click, you take that 2,000 required clicks and then you multiply that by your cost per click, which is $2.50, which would give you a monthly Google Ads budget of $5,000. Again, this is my favorite of the three because it focuses on account efficiency. It takes metrics that are easy to get, which is your cost per click and your conversion rate, and it helps you make informed decisions. And if you have a month where you want more conversions, you can easily scale this number with a simple math equation. Well, friends, I hope this was valuable for you. If it was, could you do me a favor and like this video and subscribe to my channel? It would mean so much. Take care.